All right, guys, so check it out. We're back with a follow-up to the last video that we did where they dynoed Eagle and he did like 5,050 horsepower. But now Eagle is at the track, so the Eagle has landed. So now we get to see what Garrett is going to do to get this bad baby down the track. He just has a little time before the U.S. Street Nationals come into play. So he got to get this thing dialed in, man. Because when the racing comes, you don't get any test passes. You got to run it right off the trailer. And they'll have test days before the event, but the track is going to be jam-packed. Hopefully he can get down the track and it's not a lot of people. I just don't see a lot of people coming out there testing this early. But anyway, let's check it out, man, and wish him some luck. And I hope he can get the Eagle down the track.
What's that? The Eagle rolling out the trailer. Woo-hoo! Mr. Sam, what you think, brother?
The Eagle is ready to go racing today.
The Eagle is here. So guys, we recently had the car PPF'd by Project Prime, so it's all paint protected now. It's looking good. We're on the 275s because we're hoping to race in Pro 270.
Man, that Eagle is a beautiful car. You know, I thought the Eagle was a pro mod, but going back and looking at the video like a second time, the Eagle is really it's more, I would say it's more like a Pro 275 radial is what it's like. You know, my friend Barry, I think it has a steel roof, but it's a tube chassis car. But like my friend Barry, he races like a no time 275, car. So some guys call it the outlaw class, but he doesn't have any times on it, so it's just like I would call it a no time 275. But Cleetus car is definitely like a Pro 275 car. But it's man, it's a light car and it's a beautiful car. I'm shocked that, man, they can make these cars get down a track with a 275 tire on it, which is amazing.
75 at the U.S. Street Nationals, which is a race right here at Bradenton Motorsports Park in a few weeks. Today we got good weather. You can see George is in a jacket, so you know it's below 70. And it's pretty chilly out here. We're going to have good air, hot rod. Just made 5,050 horsepower on the dyno. We got Cameron Johnson.
5,050 horsepower. Wow.
And we're going to hopefully make some 3-second 8th mile rips. You know, show the people what's up. Get ready for this Pro 275.
CJ race cars, Cameron Johnson race cars.
Out there.
Oh, yeah.
So I think what we got to do is get the car over here. We already warmed up the oil. We got to check a few things over. Flash a tune in it from Mr. Steve Petty, and we will go make a run. Damn, that's a good looking car. Dang. What are you throwing in there, big brother?
A little bit of nitro.
That's class legal, right?
Legal.
All right, so the
guys,
fuel
I wanna
he's
do a
running
quick
in
thanks
there
to my boy Zach.
is M5. It's probably from BP.
Hustle.
Most guys I know that race, they run the M5. So.
This guy, you know, he's the crew chief, and he makes it happen. He stays up late, comes in early, so that we can have test days like this, so that we're not testing while we're at the race. All right,
So, guys, what I want you to notice, what Cleetus was saying or Garrett was saying, is that you're not testing when you're at the race. This race that he's going to in a couple of weeks is going to be the U.S. Street Nationals. Actually, I'll be down in Florida, and I'm going to see if I can make the U.S. Street Nationals. I'll be at the MPMC, but I might try to make it down there. I'll probably be about 2 hours away from the U.S. Street Nationals. But, man, he's going to have some tough competition, but he sounds like he got a solid team. I mean, with, his crew chief, you got to have a top-of-line crew chief, but his tuner and engine builder pretty much all in one with Proline and Petty. I mean, come on, man. It's a hard combination to beat.
we're fueled up. We're going to run the car real quick, make sure everything's good to go, and then drop it on the floor and go make a rip.
So if you can notice, the car is up on Pro Jacks. You know, I whenever the Quadra Boys come to town to race at the Texas Motorplex, I always go and hang out with them. You know, they run a Pro Stock car, which is kind of similar, but it's NHRA rules, so it's a different car. It kind of looks like that, but they have to manually shift the gears, and it's a little bit longer, and it's really low to the ground. But they put their cars up on the Pro Jacks and warm it up and get everything running before they pull it up there. But man, his paint job is beautiful on this car. It's amazing, man. The guys that did this car is just.
I know, that's awesome. But right now you can tell that kind of tell.
I mean, CJ.
It looks so.
And those guys, man, they did a hell of a job on this car.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
69 Camaro. Gosh, every time I say it, I just feel a tingle down my spine.
Yeah, it's interesting that we're running on these little puny 275s. The car ran awesome on the 315s. It might run really good on 275s. We'll see. But
man, I wonder what type of wheels those are. They kind of look like Billet Specialties, but he's top 275 look alive. Come on, Drake.
Let's go try it.
All right, bud, you ready to make a small tire rip in this unit or what?
I'm ready.
You know, Steve's got the hot tune in it because that's the only kind he does.
That's the thing with Steve tuning it. He could have it turned up for the fastest radial tire pass in world history right now.
And he'll just say, try that.
Yeah.
Oof, baby.
Man, I mean, look how low that car is to the ground. It is low. I mean, it is ready to go, guys. It's beautiful. So the thing about the 275 is that it is a small tire. Matter of fact, they call it the small tire class, and people stretch it. Like my 275 was stretched on a 15 by 12 inch rim. Yeah, I was stretched on a 15 by 12 inch rim. I would say Cleetus is probably maybe 15 by 14 or 15 by 13. Swanson, actually, I've seen Swanson stretch his 15 by 15, but you know, it's a double bead lock. I run the RC Comp tires. That's the tire, or the RC Comp wheels is a company that I like because it's made in America. Everything that they do is made in America. I went to the plant and they do everything in America. And you know, one thing about these cars is when they burn out, they're really not that as loud as you would think they are because of the big cubic inch. So you see that burnout. Most cars is just, they burn out like crazy, and it's really loud. But that big motor puts out power without, you know, making it look like it's putting out power, you know, from the start. I know at XRP, Extreme Raceway Park, they run some pro mods and cars and stuff like that there. And they're not popping and going crazy. Hold on, man. Let's go back a little bit on that. Man, no, we're not going to go, but that was Racer X. So Racer X was in that video. I saw him back there with his hat on. I wonder if he was there running his Demon 170 the day that they were here testing this car. So maybe we'll see him on the video again. But yeah, see, listen to it. It's not crazy, not popping loud, but the power is there. Wow. Oh, got a little wiggly at the end. He lit the boards up. Wow, look at the boards, man.
107, 60 foot. First time on a small tire. Are you kidding me?
All right.
Wow. What did he run?
It was all over the traction control.
What did he run?
Yeah, it was big time.
284 to the 330.
Ooh.
419 at 186.
Okay.
Dang.
We're only going 8th mile, but it rolled to a 687 at 146.
So he did
419?
548.
Not bad.
Okay, so the race that's coming up is the U.S. Nationals. It's an 8th mile race. There's going to be some heavy hitters there. Look at Cleetus. Okay, so when I bring my turbo car up, man, it's popping and it's like crazy. This car is like it was barely doing anything, but when it took off, man, it was flying. Okay, so I want to show y'all something here. If you look right there, you see a little silver canister right there. If you look right past his right hand up in front of the transmission, you got this silver canister here. And this is something that I want to do to my car. This is the overfill, or the overflow, should I say, for the transmission. So the transmission has a protective case on it. My transmission is a Rossler transmission, Turbo 400, and it uses a reed case. But this overflow, what I like about it, and the reason why I want to go to it, is because when the transmission pukes and it does an overflow, it goes up there in that area, and then when the car is turned off, it drains back down into the transmission. The catch can I have on the transmission now actually catches it in front of the transmission, and then I have to drain it out and, put it in something and then pour it back through, the dipstick where you check it to fill it. But man, I love this setup that Cleetus has off in his car. It's beautiful.
Damn, baby's got some power.
Oh yeah, it's crazy power.
Oh, that's my parachute button. Okay, I was hitting the wrong button. I forgot how fast this thing is. It just rocks my world.
Man, he got enough buttons on that steering wheel, doesn't he?
So fast, it's pretty slow, and then it shifted into high gear, and literally.
Let's see what he says.
About broke my neck off. About broke my giraffe neck in two.
He said his giraffe neck in two.
Hell of a car.
Oh man.
Car. Yeah. You just never expect it, and then it just wham, just rocks your world. That's all I can describe it as, guys. This thing is insane. Solid first lick on 275s. I mean, I didn't have to do any driving. It just kind of went dead straight. Pretty happy with that.
Well, brother, how you feel about that?
It felt like it was really fast.
Yeah, it was fast.
Okay, do you ever think about the fact that you rebuilt this engine? Does that ever hit you?
It does hit me every time you sit in it.
And it just went that fast. Where did it go? Where did it go?
Dude.
419 at 186.
Wow,
107 on
419.
a small tire.
Yeah.
First time ever.
107, 60 foot, 284.
Insane.
419 first lick on 275s.
Wow.
Not bad.
Yeah, it sounded
Faster
like it
than
was
our
all.
other cars.
It sounded like it was all up in the traction control.
Did it? Wow, it rolled to a 686.
I don't know. It always sounds so crazy every time. I think.
So he shut this car off at the 8th mile and it rolled to a 686. Man, this thing is crazy fast.
I don't think it had the boost. Well, I don't think it was tight because remember we changed the regulator on the dyno?
No, we tightened it.
Yeah, well, it was just a lot, It's honestly, I'm glad it wasn't a 3-something 8th mile because I needed a shakedown run for my own.
For your own well-being.
My own well-being.
Oh man, I hear that, Cleetus. He said he need a shakedown
The
run.
process
Wow.
of the Eagle.
Okay, so they're gonna take the front end off of the car. This is how the the Quadra boys, they take the front end and they take their doors off.
Check out that
But-
Hemi.
Man, look at that big Pro Line Hemi in there.
Just look at
So-
that Hemi.
All right, boys, we did all that down a cylinder, so. Yeah, he just said it had a little too much fuel, so it wasn't totally off, but it was like.
Okay, so he's gonna check all the spark plugs out. He's gonna check everything.
400. Yeah, cylinder 6. And it actually came back on about 3/4 of the way into the run, and that's where I felt the thing take off like a freaking bat out of hell. That's where we got the 8th cylinder back.
That explains the sound.
Yeah, that might be part of the sound you heard. It's hard to tell what's going on. You know what's weird is I was sitting on the 2-step for a while because I was kind of waiting for it to build. And I told Steve that. He's like, well, one thing you got to look out for is these Hemis, they'll build the boost without any of that popping and banging you're used to. On
Yeah,
the
see, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Dude, it was sitting at 13 pounds the whole time I was on the 2-step.
Wow.
It didn't make any noise.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah.
was making 13 pounds already. So I sat on the 2-step like 5 seconds too long because I'm
Yeah.
thinking, Where's my boost out? I'm used to the wow,
Yeah.
bah, 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 bah,
So
bah.
you just gotta watch your boots.
I literally just have to wait 2 seconds and I can go in. He's like,
Yeah.
brother, it's a Hemi. What are you thinking?
All right.
Him it, brother.
The 5,000 horsepower tune-up in it, or what are we thinking?
I think we're probably getting up there, honestly.
Man, I like this hat. Man, I think I'm gonna order me one of these hats because it kind of reminds me of like a John Deere looking hat, but it has a turbo on it and it has Cleetus on it. So I'm gonna have to go and order me one of those hats, man. I'm loving that hat.
Really just needs to run on all 8 cylinders for the whole pass.
That'll help.
Be really fast. I think our record ET on the 315s was a 396 in the 8th mile.
Oh wow.
See if we can get up near there on this run.
All right. All right, second rip on the small tire, 8th mile.
Okay, so this is his second pass on it. This is gonna be a hot tune. So if you look in the back, you see the smoke coming out. That's a crank pressure case. It's just venting right there. Oh, we blew the tires.
Look at this. Still spinning and shaking the tire. 115 to the 60 foot still.
Okay, so one thing that we always say for drag racing is suspension, suspension, suspension. So let's see if they make some adjustments with the suspension, or obviously if you call the tuner, I mean, hell, they got the baddest tuner in the world working on this thing, which is, Petty. I mean, Steve Petty, and plus he's right there at Proline. So,
And it was all over within 20 foot.
Oh, yeah.
Still went on 115.
Talk to Petty.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he's got the front struts pretty tight, so we're going to loosen them up. Like 8 clicks when pull loose.
Okay.
And then we're going to add 30 pounds to the trunk. And
there you go.
Same tune. All right. Dang, brother. It's nice that CJRC put in these nice little spots for us to hang our weight.
Yeah, when you
It's
build a
nice.
bike, you gotta have these tabs that
Yeah.
hang the weight. But the nice thing about it is we can put the weight where we need it.
Also, truthfully, we were about 30 pounds under what our race weight's supposed to be. So to add 30 pounds to it is perfect. Now we're going to be legal.
Nice.
Gearing up to make another attempt at it. We're adding some weight, loosen the front end up. Same tune-up, right?
Same tune.
All right. Hoping we just go the distance now.
Yeah, suspension and weight.
Yep.
Hope she goes down, brother.
I got a feeling.
I got a feeling too.
Here comes Big Eagle. Come to a burn him out. Oh yeah.
He'll do a big little slide on that.
And
All right, here we go. Man, I bet he's gonna nail this pass. Let's see what he does. Let's watch this burnout, guys. I'm telling you, it's a subtle burnout with these 275 cars. They're not loud like I mean, look at this. And the turbos are not as loud as,
getting them backed up.
Pro Charger cars and so forth. Or supercharged cars. I mean, if that was a car with a supercharger, man, you have to put your hands in your ears to be right there next to it. Here we go. Bumped in. Oh my goodness.
Tire off. 105 to the 60, 270 with a 5 to the 330, 432 at 130 after it spun the tire. 105 though to the 60. That thing was riding.
Oh, it was flying, dude.
270 flat too, man. That thing was on a mission.
Mm.
Needs a little bit more suspension tweaking, I think, and
That's probably going to be in just too aggressive.
yeah.
Here it is. Let's check it out, guys, from the front. Oh, he was on a pass before he shook the tires. Bumping in with the button. Woo! So when he gets to the top of the track, he has this red button right here, and he presses this, and this shuts everything down on the car. The drag packs, what they do is that they throw the shifter. You got a neutral up in the front. They throw it up in the neutral, and then they hit that and shut everything down and just let it coast. That way, at the end of the track, they can read the spark plugs at the end of the track and see what the car is doing, what the tune is doing. So. Oh yeah, he knew he was on one. He definitely knew he was on one.
Golly. That thing's so damn fast, brother. Woo.
You know, it's so smooth, it's hard to explain how fast this car is going.
By so much. I can't describe it to you guys how fast this thing is. Rocking my world. Woo! Good luck overall. We were making it pretty far. That was definitely way faster than the 330 than our first run, so I'm happy about that. Golly. Way faster. It just ended up spinning way out there, so I think right when the lockup hit, knocked the tire off. Not a big deal. We'll just use some traction control through there and hopefully make it the whole way.
Whew, that pass was so smooth. I can't
look at it.
really describe
Look at that line.
Really smooth. And we were making, dang, shoot, before we spun the tires, we were making 62 pounds of boost.
Wow.
And you can see
62 pounds of boost.
Gosh, how many G's was I pulling?
Good Lord.
Just 2 G's. But it pulls 2 G's for so long. It's like no other car I've ever driven. Really smooth run until knocked the tire off, but other than that, pretty happy. We're gonna come back tomorrow at noon and make some more rips, but the rental for today is over. All right, new day. A little warmer out today too. Let's get a quick warm up, make sure everything's good to go.
So they got the car up on the Pro Jacks. They're gonna get everything all warmed up, and they're gonna go out and get it done. So if you remember right here at the top, you see where they were saying, you know, it blew a fuse. It was the burst panel or the burst plate, but they just say it blew a fuse. Think about your fuses when you have something with a fuse plugged into it, and when you blow a fuse, that's it. You know, so that's what that is. That's the safety part of it, but. So he's back again today. And guys, this race is going to be in a couple of weeks. So he's there testing because he's in Florida. He's there at Bradenton, and he's getting an opportunity to start trying to get this car dialed in for this event. I think this week, everybody's going to be there testing. So he's getting ahead of the curve. And the thing about a race like this is you show up and you race off the trailer. You don't get to test, when the race starts. You got to test before. So a bunch of cars will be there probably this week getting ready. Man, look at that Hemi heads on that. Darn, dude, that MH motor is a beast, guys. Come on. So he has dual parachutes on there to slow it down. Let's just show you how fast this car is gonna be. Okay, so those wheels are billet specialties. I just saw it. So they are billet specialty wheels, and he's using a Fuel Tech. Big shout out to Barry Wade. He's the Fuel Tech dealer here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex or in Texas. But he's one of the big Fuel Tech dealers. He's a good friend of mine. So that's a small screen they got on there, but they make a bigger screen now. That's a 12-inch screen. I run a Holley system. I run the Holley Dominator. Cleetus has that on Holley Dominator is on Leroy. Excuse me, is on Mullet. I think it's on Leroy too, maybe. I don't know what's on Leroy. I can't remember. Okay, so let's watch this burnout, guys. It's not a crazy burnout. It's turbos. It's not going to rattle your ears. But it just puts down the power so effortlessly. Let's see what we got. Bump in.
Oh my gosh, it was so loud I missed the zoom button. I panicked.
105 60 foot, all up in the traction
That's
control.
insane. Look at the I mean,
Yeah, it was shaking the tire pretty aggressively while still trying to maintain putting the power down through the traction control, but still 105.
I thought it went 105.
Yeah.
Match his best 60 foot, but then just right after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really hard, spun them.
So he shook the
The
tires.
edge of the tire did look a little hot. It's folding in pretty good.
Well, we went down a pound on that tire pressure.
Okay, I was wondering what he did with the air.
Yeah, try a half.
All right. It's frustrating, these small tires with this much horsepower.
Yeah.
We'll get it.
5,000 horsepower is a lot.
You know, I don't think people understand, too. I was looking at the footage last night. We didn't really emphasize the fact that, like, we have to be going 370s to be competitive. Like,
Oh,
low
yeah.
370s.
Yeah.
So, we ain't even close, if that makes sense. But for
Man, if I'm not mistaken, last year I think Kyle Kelly walked everybody with this thing. And I think it's going to be harder for Kyle Kelly this year because I know teams are going to be gunning for him. But Cleetus has a right team. Who knows? I can't count Cleetus out. I mean, I can't count Garrett out because he has good people and he has top of the line gear.
418 or whatever we rolled to, not even close.
yeah, it's fast, but for this race,
You'll be
But
30.
not for this car.
You'll be
Not for this
32.
Yeah,
on
we'll
the
lose.
qualifying
We'll
sheet.
lose round one if we go that fast.
I told him don't change the tune-up. That's the same power it was 104 yesterday.
Yeah, I think 105 yesterday, 105 today.
Yeah, he said it shook just then. I told him to go up to 18 on that tire pressure. It
Yeah,
sounds like the
going
car
up.
balled the tire up.
Yeah, that's what
But
we were
I also
thinking.
said, he said he'll run 7 gallons of fuel. I said, knock that down to 4 and a half or 5 gallons. Get 15, 18 pounds off the nose.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And we're going to raise the spanner up on the front end and pick the crankshaft up a little bit. Like, the tune-up is there.
Yeah.
I did stuff to get it through the middle of the track. But, if it goes 105, just keep working on a car to make it repeat.
Sounds good.
Clean, like the car just ain't the window. So I told him, don't change the tune-up till we get it down.
Roger that.
But
Okay.
he said the only thing was dropping tire pressure from yesterday. So let's go the opposite way. Go up, raise the crank, pull a couple of gallons of fuel out of it, and repeat.
Roger that.
Wow.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
See ya.
See, so that was Steve Petty on there talking about, and I'm telling you, man, Steve Petty, from what I hear and what I see, to me, I consider like the best or elite EFI tuners, and he knows how to build the engines too. Don't get me wrong; he's an engine builder and he's a tuner, and he kind of reminds me of when I was first starting out racing, and Rod Hetzel was like, let's bring the air up. I'm thinking just the opposite, bring it down. He was like, bring the air up. And it was able to hold without shaking the tires. But, I mean, when Steve Petty calls and tells you what to do, man, you just got to listen and take his advice because the man knows what he's talking about. Obviously, when he gets there, probably this coming week, he'll probably be there. I'm pretty sure he's going to be there because there's going to be a lot of guys there with the cars. I'm wondering what engine he has, if he has a MH6 or, man, probably with Cleetus, and man, he probably has an MH7, which is like a muscle head. So I'm pretty sure he probably has an MH7. Who knows? Maybe they got a secret MH8 or something and they gave it to Cleetus. But man, these engines are like what, 514 cubic inches. Don't quote me on that. You guys can look that up and know what the cubic inches are. But let's get back into this. But hell of a team, hell of a tuner. Okay, so when it comes to top tuners in the EFI, you have Steve Petty, you have Carl Stevens, you got Shane T. So these are some names that constantly come up in these particular classes. So, man, these are some bad dudes, but, you know, Steve Petty, his name is always up there as like the best.
Brilliant.
Science.
Yeah.
Science.
Why didn't we think of that?
We ain't tuners. We're wrench turners,
Yeah.
drivers. What you got? You good? George, I think you dropped this. What is it?
Piece of belt. It's my lucky charm, dude.
Pretty cool the way you raise the front end on these. Just turn this little guy. So we're gonna run a little bit less fuel. We're gonna go to the top of this baffle instead of topping it off, and then we might actually pull this E-gate off that we're not using because that's a few pounds as well. And Cameron's working on raising it. We're getting pretty comfortable around all this big metal.
Yeah, it gets easier as you go, faster.
The crew chief.
Big, it's easy to work with.
Really easy. Really.
That's who makes it happen right there, the crew
Keep
chief.
it that way. All right, guys. So tune-up staying the same. Just making these adjustments to the car. We're about ready. Tightening up the last few things. I'm gonna jump in, and we'll make another lick. 105, 60 foots don't get old. Feels really good, but I want to go the whole way. We need a full clean pass.
All right, here you go, guys. And I wonder what the temperature is out there. I see they got jackets and coats on, but it's in Bradenton, so it's definitely good air. Pumped in, here we go. Oh yeah, that's a good pass. Looks like only one parachute came out though. Wonder what's going on.
Bolt out of it?
What did he say? Knocked the bolt out. What was that too?
God dang big old Hemi, you know.
I don't know what that boat goes to. He say losing
Slow down a
weight.
little bit of the 60 went 1060, 272. Not
Woo!
270 flat we did yesterday. We was able to drive through it and go at 394 at 199.
There we go.
Dang.
For the eighth right
There we go.
On the track.
Okay, you got a PB.
270 flat to the 330. So we're 2 numbers slow to the 330 and still went at 394 at 199.
Okay.
Wow.
Build off that. We're in the threes. We're in the threes, you know? Baby steps.
Here it goes, guys. Wow. That thing is moving. Woo! Only one parachute came out. Let's see if he reaches to do his parachute or does he touch a button for his parachute. Okay, so he grabs a button for his parachute. So if you look under his trans brake, you know, where he releases the button at the top to make it go, he has a button under there to grab for his parachute. I know most guys like the drag pack guys and stuff, they like to reach up and push them just in case of some, you know, a lot of guys don't like to, they call it the nanos. You know, they don't like to deal with the electronics and the nanos. They rather just manually push it and make it go. But there you go. So he has the button right under here. Now on my car, this is my bump button on the left side. The top button is the bump button. And right under the bump button, I have extra boost. It's because it's a turbo car. If I want to run more boost, I can put 5 or 10 pounds of boost right there on that button. So, but I don't have this button here that Cleetus just touched to release his parachute. So shut the car off. Oh, he's excited about that one. Yeah. He said, let's go. Let's go.
Full rail, baby. Woo!
Man, he was moving, guys. Good Lord.
Nice eagle. That felt like 200 mile an hour in the 8th mile, boys. That's what that felt like.
Uh-oh. I've never been that fast, guys. Not the quarter mile. And he said the 8th mile.
Didn't have to
Woo!
lift it all. Real happy with that.
Look at him.
Feel good, huh?
Feel good? You got slip?
No.
Oh, you don't?
No. You gotta wait.
I thought only one
I mean,
parachute
you float
open.
down to the 60 foot.
Both of them are open right there.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool because we didn't make a tune change. We just made a suspension tune change.
Suspension, suspension,
And it worked.
suspension.
And it
Eddie
worked.
was right.
And a weight tune. You know, your fuel.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he nailed it on those changes. That feels good after so many aborted runs to make that nice, clean. Didn't make a bobble or a shake or nothing. Just
Yeah, it looked good.
I know that
Did only
felt
have one
good.
parachute come out.
Okay, so one parachute did just come out.
You probably pinned one up, but it got tangled, so just need to. They haven't
Okay.
been unpacked since World Cup.
Ah.
They get a little stiff and it just didn't come out right. Overall, solid run. What did it run? Dude?
You in
Man, he living his best life, y'all.
Okay, so a little slower to the 330
Yeah.
than yesterday.
So you can do the
When
math
I made
there.
the full runs. It's probably a 395.
You think you went a 3?
I mean, yeah. Did I not?
I mean, you
402.
did. It's a little anticlimactic.
Oh,
I didn't think you were gonna.
390. Is it 396? How you do that? 396.
Yeah, I think it went a 396.
One final guess.
Wow.
You just guessed it on the money.
He on the money.
396, right?
394, isn't it?
Oh,
That'd be our
94?
PB. Yeah, it's
Oh, another PB.
a PB. Dude, you rebuilt that engine. 395. I'm like,
Better.
I look a little quicker out there.
Get floored, dude.
Florida's a whole lot. 394 PB, brother.
199.
Nice.
You know what's crazy? Is we went 210 to the 8th the other day.
Yeah.
So we're 11 mile an hour less, but
Two little numbers.
Fast.
yeah, 2 numbers quicker.
Yeah, 2 numbers
but
quicker.
Slower.
Yeah.
Now we combine those two.
Well, we went yesterday. We went 270 flat.
Yeah, so we lost 2 numbers to the 330, but I'm saying we went 210 to the 8th mile in World Cup. So the interesting thing is when you get quicker, you sometimes you go slower.
Mm.
Here's our old slip from when I went my best quarter mile at 589. And we
Nice.
went at 397, so we're way
Yep.
ahead at
Yeah.
the 8th. 210,
Oh, wow.
there it is.
210, yeah.
So let's see if we can speed up and go at 380 something here.
And then
That's what I want to
370
see.
Something, then a 360.
We ain't nobody unless we're going 370. Like, we shouldn't even show up. Also, if you guys see this racing mat, we found this in the shop. We've had it apparently for years. Shout out to United Tarps. This thing's sweet. I don't know how long we've had it. We never used it until
You sent it, I think,
today.
last Christmas.
Okay, well, it's being used now. We love it.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Essentially, this is just the same exact tune, but Petty turned off the traction control because it was a little bit too spicy.
He
on
turned
last
off
day
the
of
traction control.
Drive shaft data was a little bit dirty, so we're gonna try and run it without traction control, see if it goes the whole way, and then we'll go from there.
I don't know, man. I think on a 275 tire with that much horsepower, I think the traction control needs to be working, but you know, who am I? I mean, I'm just, you know, I don't run that type of horsepower, so I don't know. But I'm just going from the perspective, my horsepower is nowhere near that, and I can knock the tires off at 275. But my car is not built like this car either. It's a suspension, so let's see what he does. Oh, he almost got down the track. Wow.
Hey.
With no traction control?
The 60 foot.
Oh.
And then it spun out there. Still went at 275 to the 330.
Okay.
443 at 125 out of the gas. I don't think he did.
Dude, that thing got
1049 in the 60 foot.
Wow.
We're getting somewhere.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's unbelievable.
460 foot.
Yeah.
So it's definitely faster without the traction control holding it up. That was the same tune.
Oh,
So
really?
That tells you, you know, how much the drive shaft was holding it back before. Yeah, 104, and then I had to get out of it right before the 330.
Yeah.
Hmm.
She was riding out.
I wonder what's wrong with his
man.
traction
All right, well,
control.
hopefully your fix on the drive shaft sensor worked, and we can go back and running the traction control. All right, guys, we're on tune
Oh, it's a
6.
drive shaft
This
sensor.
just goes to show
Okay.
how tough a small tire can be with 5,000 horsepower. Now, keep in mind we're like under, 15 passes total on the car. But we've been testing for 2 days. We haven't made a ton of progress. We definitely have a drive shaft data issue. You're good. Oh yeah, you're going down. We definitely have a drive shaft data issue. So Steve is like, let's try one more hit. If it's good, great. If it's not great. But either way, this has got to be the last run. We got to get that drive shaft data fixed so that he can properly use the traction control. So this will be the last run of the video. Hopefully we can go at 380. I'm telling you, we ain't doing nothing until we're going 370s. And we really need to go 360s to be competitive. So to say we have a huge gap to where we need to be, it's a massive gap. But that's what it's going to take. You got to test these cars. You cannot show up with these cars and go competitive numbers. You just can't. You got to test a lot. So we've made, a few passes each day. We made a couple tracks out of it. We still have a couple weeks, so hopefully we can get some more testing before US Street. But it's the last pass of the video. Let's all cross our fingers. It's a good one.
So on my car, I have a drive shaft, and then I have a sensor, and then I have a little deal that comes out and hovers over the sensor. And if they're not lined up, it's not going to read the sensor right. So, and we had to work with that for a while to get the magnet to make sure that it's going, because that thing's spinning like super fast, and it's barely, missing that deal on there. So maybe that's what he's talking about. They have to make an adjustment with that. But once they do, hell, everybody know that, the system, that he's running is a good traction control system. A lot of people say that, is the best. Man, my mind just went blank. A lot of people say that Motec is the best, but Fuel Tech has a great traction control system as well. I run off the Holley Dominator, which is similar to Dave's traction control. But let's check out his final pass. Hopefully that everything's working on it, and he'll get it down the track and run another PB. Ooh, it blew the tires right away.
Well,
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious without the traction control that we can't do anything. We cannot do anything cool. Yeah. Dang it.
It's too much power.
In the car,
Too much power.
We're outgunned.
Yeah.
And we thought we might be getting it easy by coming and testing 2 weeks before. I can tell you right now, we're going to be testing next week now. Hey, at least we left ourselves a buffer.
Yeah.
Normally
Yeah.
we test the day before. So this caliber car just requires sometimes a lot of figuring out. And we're killing it on that 315, swap to the 275, not killing it anymore. We had one good run. We did break our personal best, which we cannot downplay. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But I know Steve Petty's coming in town next week.
Uh-oh, there it is.
We're just going to have to get that one-on-one in person.
Steve
I think
Petty.
That makes a big difference. I think there's some stuff that we can adjust on the car, too. In the meantime, we got to fix that drive shaft sensor so we can get our traction control working, and we'll come back and we'll make it happen. But right now, we're not competitive. There ain't even a point in showing up unless we can go and test and run 370s. Okay, I'm saying that right now. We're not even going to the race unless we can run 370s in testing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because really it needs to be bottom 370s, high 360s. If we can't run a 379, I just don't feel good about it.
Yeah.
Is it too much to say we shouldn't even go?
Well, I mean, you're not going to be hitting any pitches if you ain't running, so.
That's true.
Yeah, if you ain't swinging, you ain't it.
I'd like to see a 70 next week.
Yeah.
So we're going to be back testing. Hope you guys like Eagle testing videos because there's another one coming. All right?
Man, I think he's going to be competitive. He's always been competitive. He has the right engine. He has the right team. He has the right tuner. I think his only problem is going to be the hired guns. And when I say the hired guns, guys like Kyle Kelly, man, this dude is so good on the tree. He will, and you got to realize, guys, this is an 8th mile race. It's hard to walk around people in the 8th mile. I'm not saying it can't be done, But this guy will cut a light so cold that it ain't no coming around him, you know? And he embarrassed people last year. I remember seeing it, but I think a lot of people are gunning for him this year. So, but with Garrett in the running, he has the right team. This is his, I don't know if you want to call it his home track, but he's there and he's getting early testing in, and he has the baddest tuner, period. So good luck to him, man. I want to see him go out there. I think he can win it. Win it for Dale, brother. Hell yeah. So there you go, man. I'm Demonology. You know what we do. Snatch your souls, man. We out. Peace. Hey guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and also click the bell. Check out the videos up at the top. And if you get a chance, check out our merch store. Peace.